Nagato. Got no father like I'm Naruto. Keep the blade on me, Ichigo. Who really wanna go toe for toe? GTR from Tokyo. Diamonds whipping up on the stove. Lucky man like a 4-leaf clove. Diamonds wanna go.
Hey everyone, it's me Nagato's Adventure. Hope you guys are having an awesome day for today, and as the title states, I'm going to be teaching you guys on how to enable PlayStation Home arcade minigames for free with rePatch. With that being out the way as well, I highly do recommend to go ahead and check out my social medias so you never forget the latest hacking guides and tutorials I drop on my channel. By being subscribed to me and hitting that notification button is also another way on how to never miss my guides and tutorials on my channel. But with that being out the way as well, if you want to be in the mix of things, I highly recommend to go ahead and join my official Discord. It will be in the link in the description down below on how to join, or you could just type in the URL link that is showcased on the screen. So not only you could join my Discord to meet new people from the hacking and modding scene, but if you need any support or have any questions about my channel or maybe about this topic, or even if it's dealing with modding topics such with the Vita, the PlayStation 3, the Nintendo 3DS, Switch, I am always available to help you guys if you need any support via on my Discord. As well, if you do want to support my channel in any shape or form, you could become a patron by supporting my channel, and it helps with the overall development so I can provide the best quality content for you guys by supporting me on via Patreon, and I will have that in the link in the description down below. It will help with things such as buying equipment, doing research and all of that fun stuff. As well, I do take another method on how to basically donate to me. Of course, it's purely optional, but I do take PayPal if you guys do want to donate via that way. As stated before, it just goes how to help with the overall development for my channel, and it helps me grow for more people to see my content. But with all of that fun stuff getting out the way, we're going to go ahead and get started on today's prerequisites. And as all my videos, I will have all the downloads in the link in the description down below. So of course, you need a modded PlayStation Vita or a PS TV that is already hacked, either using the Trinity, HENkaku, or H-Encore or H-Encore² exploit. Your system needs to be either between firmwares 3.60 to 3.72 firmware. You also need the latest build of VitaShell. You also need rePatch plugin. You also need AutoPlugin.VPK. Also, you will need basically a dump or a download of PlayStation Home Arcade. Make sure you get the European version, and I'll, as showcased on the screen right here, here is the content ID for that. And as well, you need the PlayStation Home Arcade patch files. Since what this patch actually does is basically you don't have to pay for the rest of the PlayStation Home arcade games. I'm not even really too sure if you could even buy them from the store, since I know even the PlayStation Home stuff, a lot of that content died out in 2015. So it's pretty useful that we have this method on how to still play some PlayStation Home arcade classics, as well as some just generally classics from like the Atari, such as Centipede and all of that fun stuff. I just want to give a special thanks out for Border Trader. I did see this post recently on Reddit, so I did want to give him credit for making this patch, so shouts out to you. But with all that fun stuff getting out the way, let's go ahead and get started on the PC side of things and get this set up. Alrighty guys, so assuming that you did follow all the prerequisites as stated in the intro, we're going to go ahead and get started on the PC side of things. So right now, here are the three files we mainly need for this process. Here is the PCSF00228, and this is the PlayStation Home Arcade game itself. So make sure it's the European version, and as I stated in the prerequisites, I'm not too sure if either the Asian or the United States version works with this rePatch, or basically this patch itself. That's why I do recommend just using the European version. But once you have your game of choice, whether you dumped it yourself or you got it from wherever online, make sure we also need the latest build of AutoPlugin.VPK. that will be in the link in the description down below as well. And last but not least, to make all the magic work, we need PlayStation Home Arcade rePatch.zip files, and you also need WinRAR or WinZip to unextract it. So, and I'll have that in the link in the description down below as well. What we need to do is go ahead, right click, if you got WinRAR, go ahead and extract the files to our PC. I'm going to put them on my desktop, and you should get another folder like this. And beside this folder, you have the content ID for this, and here is the core.psarc file that will allow us to play the full contents of all the mini games in the PlayStation Home Arcade on your PS Vita. So The way on how to set this up right now is to basically transfer over our games with FileZilla FTP client, but what we need to do first is go into our PlayStation Vita, set up VitaShell to get our FTP connection going or our USB cable plugged in, and then we'll be able to, you know, set up this on the Vita side of things. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here, we're back onto the PlayStation Vita. What we need to do is go ahead and open up VitaShell, so that's what I recommend doing for this process. So let me go ahead and just do a fresh restart on it. Then once you're into VitaShell, what we need to do is just go ahead and hit start on our basically our PlayStation Vita, or if you're using a PS TV. Make sure if you're going to be transferring files over your Wi-Fi or FTP method, make sure it's toggled on by hitting start on your Vita and then selecting over your USB, or basically FTP or USB. If you're going to be using your USB charging cable to transfer over files, which I do recommend since it's much a faster way on how to transfer, just go ahead, plug in your USB cable from your PC to your PlayStation Vita and make sure USB is on. But once you choose your option of choice, make sure you hit circle out of it on your device and then hit select if you're using FTP or USB. But if you're using FTP right here, you should see your PlayStation Vita's IP address. If you don't, make sure your Wi-Fi is on, of course. But once you see your PlayStation Vita's IP address, what we're going to do now is just leave our Vita or our PS TV on standby, and then we're going to go straight back onto our PC, set this up via with FileZilla, and get our files transferred over. Alrighty, so as showcased here, we're back onto the PC. Let's go ahead and open up FileZilla FTP client. If you guys always watch my content, you already know I always use FileZilla FTP client for my stuff. If you don't already have FileZilla FTP client, I will have that in the link in the description down below. It will be an exe file. You just install it like any executable file on Windows 10 or whatever you're using in terms of, you know, your computer. But what we're going to do now is just go ahead and type in our PlayStation Vita's IP that it was showcased on a Vita. Yours will be different than mine, but our ports will be the same. So once you have that, hit quick connect, and then what we're going to do now is go ahead into our UX0 folder, and then from here what we're going to do is transfer over our game of choice into our app folder. So the app folder right here, we're going to transfer it to this folder right here. So this is PlayStation Home Arcade. What we also are going to do for this process is going to take this PlayStation Home Arcade rePatch file. We're going to put it in, let me go ahead and back out one for UX0, and we're going to basically take our auto plugin and PlayStation Home Arcade file, rePatch file, into UX0 as well. And then basically what we're going to do is go ahead and wait for all of these files to transfer over. So as showcased here is basically all of the PlayStation Home files getting transferred now. So I'm gonna go ahead and pause the video so it won't be showcasing on how long it takes, but once it's fully done, we're gonna go back to the PlayStation Vita and get it set up. Alrighty guys, so as showcased here in my successful transfer folder, all of my games and basically all of the stuff we copied over from my PC has transferred over to my Vita. So what we're going to do now is just go ahead and back out of VitaShell, and then what we're going to do is go ahead and get this all set up on the PlayStation Vita side of things. Alright guys, so this is the PlayStation Vita. All we got to do is go ahead and cancel out since we're back onto it and we already transferred our files. What we need to do first is go into UX0, scroll all the way down, and we need to go ahead and install AutoPlugin.VPK if you don't already have this auto plugin, because what we need to do is install rePatch, and what rePatch will do is basically use the rePatch files for the PlayStation Home Arcade and patch it to the main base game. So I'm just waiting for it to do its thing, and then once AutoPlugin.VPK installs, I'll showcase the rest of the steps. So just waiting for it to do its thing. Sometimes it takes a little long. Alrighty, so it's now done. All we got to do is go ahead and hit our home button on VitaShell, or basically on our PlayStation Vita. And basically, if you don't already have AutoPlugin.VPK installed, you'll see the bubble popping up. But since I was just refreshing over a older version, or basically updating it, that's why it's still on my XMB and it's not popping up. But once you have AutoPlugin.VPK on your system, let's just go ahead and open it. And then what we're going to do is go into AutoPlugin.VPK. We're going to go into plugins for Vita. go into install plugins. We're going to scroll all the way down to where it says rePatch. Let me try to find it right now. Food. Okay, yeah, here is rePatch by .tb, so shout out to him for creating this. But where I'm going to install rePatch is on UR0. I do recommend for this, so make sure not to install it on your memory card, but UR0. But once you hit X to install rePatch, it'll just say it's been installed, and then all we have to do is hit start on our Vita, and it will basically reset our PlayStation Vita device. So reset your Vita, and then we're going to go back into our main menu and then open up VitaShell again. Alrighty guys, so we're back onto the PlayStation Vita. My device has restarted. What we're going to do is go into VitaShell once again, and there are a couple things we need to do in VitaShell. So from the PlayStation Home file that we just transferred over, what we need to do is go ahead and go into this folder, go into the rePatch folder. We're just going to go and hit move on our system, so hit triangle, then hit X, and we're going to move it to basically here, and then it says copy one folder. If we go into our rePatch folder, what should happen is, let me try to find mine. So here's the rePatch folder. You will see all of my rePatch files within the database from here right now. So let me just verify. If I go back into my PlayStation Home Arcade rePatch, let me just copy this once again since I didn't see the thing, and then go into rePatch itself. Let me paste the folder right here. Okay, so yeah, here's PlayStation Home Arcade. I'm not too sure why it didn't copy over, but make sure your PCSF00228 rePatch folder is in UX0 rePatch, and then the game content itself. But what we need to do now as well, I'm assuming that you already have no npdrm installed, we need to go ahead and hit triangle, refresh our live area, so it shouldn't take too long since the game is not large in size, and it should say that you have basically one item in your database that was found or something like that, or refreshed one item. So here's that right here. Then if I scroll down, here's the PlayStation Home Arcade. Let me go ahead and start it up, and then once this boots up, I'll show you guys that this game has fully worked. So right now you can see that basically I could play any game and I don't have to purchase it. So I'll use one of the purchase games that you couldn't play normally, which was Centipede. So let me do that. And I know you can probably hear the volume in the background. So here's Centipede running on my basically my PlayStation Vita. Trying to see if I could go back out. Yeah, so if you want to go back out of this, hit select. There are also some options you could change as well. Let me exit to main menu. You can see that I could play the original Frogger as well, which is pretty cool, without purchasing this as well, because I'm not too sure you can even purchase this in the store today. So this is like the only way you could kind of play, well, not actually Frogger, but play within the PlayStation Home Arcade app. So here's me playing Frogger on my PlayStation Vita. Oh, and I failed. But yeah, that's essentially on how to do this process. If you guys did enjoy this video, please be sure to leave a like, make sure to comment, make sure to subscribe. And with that being said, my name is Nagato, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.
Of course, I love the llamas. Nice and silky smooth.